Hello and welcome to another Shaman 111 tier list. This one is brought to you by ArcLight132, the Shaman 111 stream fastest looter in the West tier list. This loot tier list will be based on replays that I have watched, seeing who is ready to go to the bridge fastest or the slowest, who's ready to fight, who is pushing people when we hot drop, who is ready to get into the action the fastest, who is sitting behind because they can't find their vertical grip. This list was made with all replay watches in mind. This will also be based on letting people bleed out after fighting because you want to loot the corpses instead of rezzing your teammates. That's right, all of these things will be taken into account. Starting at the bottom tier, we have Lynx and Inorganic Coffee. Coffee is understandable as she is the newest player amongst everybody here. However, she is improving, so I can't even say bottom tier is that bad. Although relative to some of these level 100 quote-unquote smurfs, I guess we are kind of bad at it. But if we're comparing to the average PUBG player, this whole list, not too bad, I'm not gonna lie. And this isn't coping for anyone, this is just straight up. I don't think anyone's too bad at this, even bottom tier. That being said, though all the improvements have been made, I will be placing Coffee at the bottom of this list. She still picks things up with F more than she hits tab. And she sometimes won't even notice stream snipers when they're point blank in her face because she's taking so long to loot. That being said, that makes her the perfect stream snipe victim. We appreciate you, Coffee. As for Lynx, the amount of playtime relative to the speed of looting, could do better. Lynx's gun skill is definitely improving, but I will say in the loot department, Lynx is still a little slow. Still quite a bit slow. Definitely the person where if we're looting in a hot drop and there's people all around us, we'll be hearing him talk about what loot he's finding and picking up, or asking for that lightweight grip he needs for his DMR, instead of the more pressing matter at hand. Or I'll be in the middle of a fight with somebody and he's looking for that vert grip, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, bottom tier for sure. Okay, all this being said, next tier, this tier, basically the tiers mean you're a step above, just a different level, not too crazy of a steep height, but you know, bottom of the tier above is a good step above the top of the tier under it, if that makes sense. So here we have Neofink. Yeah, Nia also gets caught up in the loot situation quite a bit. Same reasons as earlier, but to a slightly lesser degree. Enough said on that end. Same with Itsu. More to the point of just yapping. Yeah, I need that lightweight grip, blah, 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 you know, like priorities. Not necessarily ready to help in a fight or in a scenario like that. I will say for bridge camps, though, he does have that sense where he needs to get to the bridge ASAP. He's improving on that. Same with Colin. Next up, he's definitely improving. He was actually going to be on the bottom tier of this list until the last time I played with him. We had a little sesh going Tago after Tago after Tago, going for those bridges, and he definitely has improved his time. So not bottom tier for sure. But yeah, another loot goblin, absolutely. Arclight's definitely improved at the bridge situation as well. However, I do have to place him at the top of this tier because although he has improved in terms of looting for bridge camp and initial loot, when there is a fight, he will be there a little after time because he's still trying to get that perfect gun for himself. And then once he does win the fight, people have been known to bleed out or be bleeding out while he is looting the corpses of the bodies he killed. Yeah, so had to place him in this tier. If that didn't happen, and if it wasn't featured in the most recent mouth puncher video, Arclight wouldn't even be in this tier. He'd be in the next tier. But I had to place him lower because no, I didn't. I didn't do that. Yeah, gaslight me. Try it. Anyways, Pleb next up in this tier. Why is Pleb so high on this tier list, you might be asking? Well, because this guy doesn't loot at all. This guy will get a fucking pistol and a delingaling bicycle and be on his way. So it's not necessarily the speed at which he gets all the items. It's it's just the speed at which he gets all the items he wants. So once he's done looting before everyone, even though he's not fully loaded out, he doesn't give a fuck. And I love this man for that. So he is up there because he is the most ready earliest, but he does not have all the gear, but he doesn't give a fuck. So he's at this tier. Starfisher, I have to give it the star, okay? Even though he himself isn't a speedrun looter, he absolutely wants to get into the action ASAP, whether it's for the bridge camp or if it's looting corpses. He'll pick us up, he'll do all that. He's just on it. He wants to get into the fights. He wants to fight, and he's not looting that much. So yeah, I gotta give it the star on this tier. Same with Toaster. Toaster is another one of those, like, he kind of loot goblins at times, which is why he's not on the S tier, but he's quick with the looting. He loots fast, like he's actually good at looting, and he also wants to fight, kind of like Star. He's on that tier for a reason. He will be just in it. And I've had duo games with Toaster where he's just, you know, trading me instantly. Like, there are a lot of times where I'm fighting 1v2 and he's there. Like, a lot of the time I know I have to be 1v2ing for a while, waiting for my teammate to finish looting. That situation happens more times than not. I know a lot of people have seen it when they watch me stream. Toaster's not one of them. He will either die first, which is a feat, by the way, when you're on my team, to die before me, because I am literally just pushing constantly. But yeah, he'll either die before me or immediately trade the person that killed me, and he'll land that headshot too. But that's not part of this tier list. I'm just saying, I gotta give credit where credit's due. All right, so S tier, top tier: Beastly, Jag, Tim, Mouth. No order on this tier. Honestly, these are the players who either were playing this game competitively at one point, Beastly, Jag, or just straight up got really good at what they did and played the fuck out of this game. I mean, honestly, the top left two, Mouth and Tim, have, I think, the most hours in this game than anyone else on this tier list, and they've just mastered their craft, especially Mouth. I won't even say this isn't ordered. I'll say Mouth is at the very top. The rest can be in any order. Mouth is number one. He is ready for that bridge camp immediately. He'll res people when he has no bullets in his gun and hasn't first aided yet after a fight. He doesn't give a fuck. He is just in there. He's not doing the loot goblin shit whatsoever. He gets his shit and he gets the fuck out. Sometimes he won't even have a fucking vest and he'll be at that bridge ASAP. Okay? That is the Mouth puncher. As for Tim, Jag, and Beastly, just really good at the game. I can't even say much more than that. They straight up just loot efficiently. They have good decision making, critical thinking skills, thinking on the spot, just that natural FPS IQ, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, that just goes without saying. These are subject to change, you know, over time. People, like I said, some of these people were on certain tiers in my opinion, but then have changed recently, and so like people have definitely been proving themselves or disproving themselves. And so while some people I think could have been higher or lower before, I mean, this is just where I think we're at right now. But this is with recent events during the streamathon especially is where I'm taking a lot of this bias from. But we definitely could see some changes in the future. A lot of new PUBG patches are coming out, a lot of crazy shit's going on, so I mean, yeah, we'll see. But for now, yeah, this is I think where we sit at. And you know what, I'll even give it, I have to add an extra point to Tim, because Tim will do his like quick loot of a compound, get his gas can, whatever the fuck he needs real quick. He doesn't go for much extra, and he's already on his what does he call it, quote unquote, mission from God, where he's finding the glider and he's going immediately after people and doing all these crazy stunts. He's doing that immediately, right? Like he'll be in the glider before people are even done looting their first compound. That's the speed at which we're talking about here. So yeah, just saying, like, this is not coming out of my ass. All right, and if anyone has any subjections, I assume Arclight's gonna have the most. Yeah, lay them down in those comments. I'm trying to see it. All right, thank you for watching. Thank you. Please like, comment, you know, algorithm, all that, etc., etc. Although this is not really a video that's gonna matter outside of the realm of the stream, so rando seeing this, probably not that important. But you know, just practice liking my shit. You know, I appreciate it. It's free as fuck and supports, so you know, I'm always down for any kind of support where you don't have to spend your fucking money. So yeah, hey, appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. And remember to floss your damn teeth.